The galaxy was quiet that day. Planets spun slowly in space. Stars burned calmly in the distance. In a small system near the edge of the Orion Arm, a group of alien scientists gathered around a glowing blue screen. Their faces were long and their skin was soft, like polished stone. They belonged to a peaceful species called the Alari. For many years they had studied the stars, looking for signs of other life. One of them, named Selin, pointed at the screen. "There it is again," she said. "That strange signal." The others leaned closer. The signal was not natural. It was a repeating code, like a voice calling out from the dark. It had been found 3 times over the past month, always from the same part of space, a place they called Sector 19. But there were no known civilizations there, just a cold, quiet world called Earth. Could it be a mistake? Asked Orin, an older scientist with white spots on his skin. "No," Selin replied. "It's a message. Someone is trying to speak." The scientists looked at each other. For generations, the Ilari had believed that if they ever found another intelligent species, it would be wise and kind. But they were also cautious. Not every voice in the dark was friendly. "We should report it to the Galactic Council," Orin said. Selin nodded. "Yes, but first, let's send a reply. If they are truly out there, they deserve to be heard." Meanwhile, far away on Earth, inside a human space station orbiting the moon, a young communications officer named Eli Carter leaned back in his chair. His screen flickered, then flashed a symbol on unknown pattern in deep blue dot. Eli sat up. "What is that?" he called to his team. They gathered around as he rewound the message. It was made of symbols no one had seen before, yet somehow it felt structured, like it had meaning. "Is it from another country?" one person asked. "No," Eli said. "It's not even from Earth." Everyone went silent. They stared at the screen, their eyes wide. "It's aliens." Someone whispered. In the control room above, Commander Reyes listened carefully. He was calm, but his mind was racing. For years, humanity had wondered if they were alone. Now, it seemed they had an answer. "We need to send something back," he said. "What should we say?" Eli asked. "Start simple," Reyes replied. "Hello, we are from Earth. We want peace." "Illa." The message was sent. Across the vast distance between stars, the simple signal moved like a whisper through the dark. A few days later, the Alari received it. Selin smiled. "They answered," she said, the room filled with soft sounds of excitement. It was a moment they had dreamed of, a true first contact. The humans had replied with kindness, not fear. "They are Deathworlders," said one of the younger scientists. "Their planet is harsh. Storms, volcanoes, diseases. How did they survive?" "With strength," Selin replied. "And maybe something more." The Alari continued to send messages. So did the humans. For months, the two species talked across space. They shared stories, ideas, and dreams. The humans learned about the peace-loving Ilari and their floating cities made of crystal and air. The Ilari learned about Earth, its history, its music, and the humans' great desire to explore. One day, a special message arrived at the space station. The Alari wanted to meet face to face. Commander Reyes called a meeting. "We've come far in a short time," he said. "We now have a chance to meet a new friend. But we must be careful. We don't know what they expect." Eli stood up. "We've always dreamed of this. Let's show them who we really are." Reyes smiled. "Then prepare a ship." The humans began to build a vessel, unlike any before. It would carry scientists, artists, teachers, and peacekeepers. They would not go with weapons. They would go with open hands and open hearts. Back on Ilori Prime, the scientists prepared to... They would welcome the humans with respect. But not everyone in the galaxy was pleased. Far away, in the shadows of forgotten systems, others had seen the messages, and they did not like the idea of humans rising. But for now, the two sides Alari and Earth moved closer, message by message, step by step, in the quiet corners of the galaxy. A new story was beginning, one of hope, one of discovery, one of humanity. The launch day had finally arrived. On Earth, the skies above the spaceport were clear. A large crowd gathered near the launch platform. Children held small flags. Scientists wore clean white coats. Reporters stood with cameras, ready to share history with the world. At the center of it all stood the new ship, Horizon 1. It was sleek and tall, with silver wings and blue lights running down its sides. Was built for deep space travel and peaceful contact. Inside, it held everything needed for the long journey ahead: supplies, gifts, and messages from Earth. Eli Carter stood by the entry ramp, holding a small bag. He had been chosen to be the lead communications officer on this mission. Though young, he had shown great skill and kindness in the months of message exchanges with the Ilari. Commander Reyes stepped beside him. "Are you ready?" he asked. Eli nodded, though his heart beat fast. "Yes, sir. Ready to meet them." Reyes smiled. "Then let's make history." As the engine started to hum, the crowd grew quiet. A voice counted down over the speakers. 3, 2, 1. Launch. Horizon 1 rose into the sky with smooth power. It passed through the clouds and out into space. People cheered, hugged, and waved. Some cried softly, knowing they were watching the beginning of something greater than themselves. In orbit, the ship turned toward the stars. Its course was already locked straight to the Ilari home system. The journey would take only 3 days, thanks to a new experimental drive. Human scientists had created it in secret. Now, it would be tested for the first time. Inside the ship, Eli walked through the main hallway. He passed by his fellow crew members: a historian, a musician, 2 engineers, a diplomat, and a biologist. They were all chosen not for their power, but for their passion and understanding. It would represent the best of humanity's heart. In the observation room, Eli looked out at the stars. One of the engineers, Rosa, joined him. "Can you believe this?" she asked. Eli smiled. "We're really doing it. We're going to meet aliens." Rosa laughed softly. "And not just any aliens, kind ones." Okay? They both sat in silence, watching space drift by. Meanwhile, in the Ilari system, Selen stood on a tall platform made of clear stone. Round her, the floating city shimmered in soft light. The Ilari had gathered too. They floated above crystal bridges and glowing pools. Their wide eyes looked up toward the sky. "They will arrive soon," Selen told the council members beside her. The others nodded. "We are ready. Let peace guide us." Yes. In the sky above, sensors showed a ripple in space. A bright light appeared, followed by a sleek silver ship. Horizon 1 had arrived. The humans were filled with wonder as they looked at the world below. The planet was covered in blue trees and silver rivers. The floating cities moved like clouds. Soft music played through the airwaves sent by the Ilari as a welcome. "Is this real?" whispered Eli. Commander Reyes stepped forward. "Send." A greeting. Eli pressed a button and smiled. "This is Earth. We are honored to be here." The Ilari responded with a simple message. "We welcome you, people of Earth. Please land. You are safe here." Slowly, Horizon 1 descended toward the landing platform, guided by invisible energy lines. It touched down gently, like a bird resting on a calm lake. The doors opened. Eli, Reyes, and the rest of the team stepped out. They were dressed in soft gray uniforms, simple and peaceful. Each person held a small gift. One brought a book of Earth stories. Another carried a violin. Rosa had painted a picture of Earth's oceans. And then, from the far end of the platform, the Ilari appeared. They were tall and graceful, with eyes like stars and robes that shimmered like water. Selen led them. She smiled as she approached. "The humans. Welcome to our world," she said. Reyes bowed slightly. "We come in peace and friendship." There was a pause, and then everyone smiled. Selen extended her hand. Eli stepped forward and took it. It was warm, soft, and full of meaning. The moment was quiet, but powerful. The two species stood side by side, so different, yet so hopeful. That night, the Ilari hosted a welcome ceremony. Lights danced in the sky. Soft songs filled the air. The humans sat beside the Ilari, sharing stories and music. Rosa played her violin, and the sound made many of the Ilari close their eyes and swayed gently. Gently, Sel turned to Eli. Your music has feeling. Eli smiled. Tell stories without words. Selon nodded. Your people? Maybe more than we ever expected. And high above the world, beyond the celebration, a shadow moved through space. Something else was watching. But for now, Earth and the Ilari were united in peace, and the story was just beginning. The morning sun rose gently over the crystal towers of the Ilari city. Light passed through the floating buildings and made rainbows dance in the air. Eli stood by the window of the guest quarters, looking out. It was hard to believe they were on another planet, welcomed by peaceful beings from across the stars. He breathed in deeply. Almost sweet. It's almost sweet. This place, he whispered, feels like a dream. Rosa entered the room, carrying a small tablet. We have our first meeting with the Ilari Council in 1 hour, she said. Are you ready? Eli nodded. I hope they are ready for us too. Downstairs, in a wide round hall made of glowing stone, the Council of Ilari waited. Selin stood at the center. She had spent the night thinking about everything she had seen and heard, and the humans were different, curious, energetic, and full of emotion. But they were also thoughtful, creative, and respectful. They are not. What the old story said Deathworlders would be, she said quietly. The others agreed. They are full of life, one council member said, and their eyes shine with wonder. Soon the humans arrived. They stepped into the council chamber and took their seats. Commander Reyes gave a short greeting. Thank you for welcoming us, he said. We come not as leaders of Earth, but as friends. Selin smiled. We accept your friendship. Today we hope to learn about your people. The talks began. Reyes spoke about Earth's long history, how humans had once fought many battles, but had slowly learned the value of peace. Rosa shared pictures of Earth's natural beauty, oceans, forests, mountains, and snow. The Ilari looked at the images with amazement. Your world is strong, one elder said. It's not always easy to live there, Eli admitted, but we grow because of it. Ilari nodded in understanding. Their world was soft and calm, but they respected strength that came from challenge. Later that afternoon, the humans were invited to visit the city. They rode on clear platforms that floated through the air. Below, they saw schools made of light, gardens that moved with music, and young Ilari children painting with glowing brushes. One Ilari guide pointed to the sky. That is our great memory tree, he said. It holds the songs and stories of our people. Eli's eyes widened. Can we visit it? Of course, the guide replied. They arrived at the base of the great memory tree. It wasn't a tree. In the normal sense, it was a large living crystal, shaped like branches, rising into the sky. Each crystal leaf hummed softly with sound. Touch one, the guide said. Eli placed his hand on a blue leaf. A soft light surrounded him. He heard voices Ilari, voices telling a story of their first days on this world. He could see their history like a dream. When he let go, he turned to the guide, amazed. This is beautiful, the guide smiled. We believe stories are the roots of peace. Later that evening, Eli sat near the tree with Selin. They watched the lights change slowly, like stars being born. Your people care deeply about memory, Eli said. Yes, Selin replied. We believe each memory, each story, is a thread that connects us all. Eli nodded slowly. Maybe that's something we lost on Earth. We rushed ahead so fast, we forgot to hold on to our stories. Then perhaps this is why we met, Selin said gently. To remind each other what matters. Just then, the sky flickered. Both of them looked up. A dark shape passed quickly behind the clouds, then vanished. Did you see that? Eli asked. Selin frowned. Yes. Far away, on the edge of the Ilari system, an unknown ship had arrived. It was large, silent, and cold. It did not send a greeting. It did not show its name. It only watched back at the Ilari council chamber. Selin gathered with the other leaders. There was movement in the upper sky, she said. Not from Earth. Not from us. Do we know what it is? Another asked. No, Selen replied, but it did not speak. The Ilari were peaceful, but not foolish. They sent soft signals across the system, warning quiet watchers and friendly. Ships to be alert. Eli returned to the ship that night, his thoughts racing. Do you think someone's watching us? Rosa asked. I don't know, Eli said. But if someone is, I hope they come in peace. On Earth, messages continued to flow back and forth. People across the globe watched the news with wonder. Children drew pictures of Ilari cities. Artists wrote songs about the friendship between worlds. Hope was rising like a morning sun, but high in the cold dark of space. The unknown ship stayed still, watching, waiting, and the story continued. Asterisk the next day, the skies over the Ilari city were clear again, but something felt different. The humans could feel it too. The laughter was quieter, and the usual peaceful music in the air sounded softer, slower. Commander Reyes stood with Selen at the edge of a floating garden. Birds with glowing wings flew past them, but neither of them smiled. You're worried? Reyes said gently. Selen nodded. Something is near, something that does not speak. We noticed the shadow in the sky, Reyes said. Have you seen ships like that before? Selen looked up. Only once, a long time ago. But they never came close. Now they are watching us. Reyes placed his hands behind his back. We would like to help. We're not soldiers, but we are not helpless. Selen looked at him thoughtfully. You came here with peace in your hearts. You believe that. But now, something may be coming that does not care for peace. That afternoon, Eli joined a group of young Ilari at one of their open-air schools. He was invited to speak about Earth and how humans learn to survive on their harsh world. He showed them a small video of Earth's rainforests, deserts, deep oceans, and snow-covered lands. You live in places so different, one young Ilari said. Isn't it hard? Yes, Eli answered, smiling. But that's how we grow. Stronger. The students listened closely. They admired the humans' courage to face storms, wild animals, and cold winters. Though the Ilari world was peaceful, they had never known such struggle. One student raised her hand. Do you think humans are afraid of the unknown ship? Eli paused. Humans feel fear, yes, but we don't let it stop us. We ask questions. We try to understand. The teacher thanked Eli and walked him to the edge of the garden. I believe. Your people carry both fire and light, the teacher said. That can be dangerous, but also beautiful. Back at the human ship Horizon 1, the crew was quietly busy. Rosa and the engineers had been checking the ship's scanners. We're looking at strange data. Something is moving around the edge of the system, Rosa said. But it's not talking. No lights, no signals, no name. Eli looked over her shoulder. What do you think it wants? I don't know, she replied. But it's definitely not just passing by. Commander Reyes called for a private meeting with Selen and the Ilari Council. They met in a high-glass room that floated above a quiet pond. We don't want to bring trouble to your world, Reyes said. If you want us to leave, no, Selen interrupted. This is not your doing. If this presence is a threat, we must face it together. You came in peace. That means something. Reyes gave a small nod. Then let us help however we can. The Ilari began sending soft warnings to their nearby colonies. They didn't use weapons, but they had powerful sensor systems and defensive energy fields that could protect their cities. Meanwhile, Horizon 1 prepared as well. They didn't have missiles or war machines, but they had signal boosters, emergency shields, and advanced scanners. The crew worked calmly and carefully. At night, Eli stood outside with Selen, watching the stars. I came here expecting beauty, he said, and I found it, but I didn't expect danger. Selen turned to him. The galaxy is wide. There are many wonders, but also many shadows. You are not alone in facing them anymore. Suddenly the sky flickered again, this time clearer. Dark shape moved above the clouds and paused directly over the floating city. An alert sound echoed across the Ilari network. Soft blue lights pulsed along bridges and towers. Energy fields began to shimmer into place. Commander Reyes ran back to the ship. "Activate shields," he ordered. "Scan every detail of that ship." On the screen, the dark vessel appeared. It was black as space, shaped like a long spear. It had no windows, no markings. Still, it did not attack. It just hovered. "They want us to know they're here," Rosa said. "But why stay silent?" Eli watched the screen, thinking deeply. "Maybe they're testing us." "Watching what?" "We do. Maybe they want to see if we panic." Selen stood beside him. "The Ilar believe in patience. We will not strike first. But we will protect our people." Eli nodded. "We'll stand with you." As the night passed, the mysterious ship remained in place. The city lights stayed on. People stayed calm. Humans and Ilari moved carefully, but without fear. And as the sun began to rise again, something happened. The dark ship turned, just slightly, as if considering its next move. Everyone waited. Was this the beginning of a test, or the end of peace? One knew yet. But one thing was certain: humanity would not stand back. They had come in peace. But they would stand for those who offered peace in return. The story was far from over. The mysterious ship stayed in the sky for 3 more days. It did not speak, it did not move much, but it watched everything. The Ilari kept their protective fields active, and the humans remained on alert. Despite the tension, life continued. Children still played in the floating gardens. Music still filled the air. But now, everyone looked up more often. Eli couldn't sleep. Each night he walked outside the human ship and looked at the stars. One evening Selen joined him, still. "Thinking?" she asked. He nodded. "I don't understand them. Why would they come here and say nothing?" Selen looked toward the dark ship above. "Some watch before they speak. Others wait until fear grows. But maybe. They don't know how to talk to us." Eli tilted his head. "You mean they're scared too?" "Maybe," she said softly. "Or maybe they expect us to act first." Commander Reyes had also been thinking. The next morning he called the team together. "We can't just keep watching," he said. "We need to send a signal, something that shows we are still open to peace, but not afraid." Eli raised a hand. "What if we send a message? Not in words?" Reyes looked at him. "Go on." Eli smiled a little. "We've been sharing songs with the Ilari. What if we send a piece of music to that ship? No demands, no fear, just a gift." Reyes thought for a moment, then nodded. "Do it." Rosa helped Eli choose a song. It was a soft, hopeful melody played on piano and violin. It had no words, just rising and falling notes like waves. Together, they sent it directly to the strange ship. Then they waited. For hours. Nothing happened. Then suddenly a response came. It wasn't music or words, but it was something. A pattern of lights, pulsing slowly from the ship's surface. At first, no one understood what it meant. But then Rosa noticed something. "It's copying the rhythm of our song," she said. The lights were moving in time with the music they had sent. "They heard us." Eli whispered, "Dot." All over the Ilari city, people watched the ship. It was still quiet, but no longer silent. It had answered, just not with sound, but with light. Selen gathered with her council. "They are watching, listening, and now they are answering." "Should we invite them to speak?" asked one of the elders. "Not yet," Selen said. "Let them come when they're ready. But now we know they are not here to harm us." The days that followed, the humans and Ilari returned to their regular activities, but with a shared curiosity. The dark ship stayed above, blinking its silent rhythm every night. Eli became something of a symbol among both groups. He was the one who had sent the music, the one who had started this strange conversation. Children drew pictures of him standing beside the ship, holding a musical note. One evening, Eli was invited to speak at an Ilarite gathering. Hundreds floated in a large open hall made of light. He stood at the center. "I don't know what the ship wants," he began, "but I know this. We didn't hide. We didn't shout. We reached out with something gentle, and they listened. That gives me hope. The crowd responded with soft tones of agreement, their way of showing respect. After the event, Selen approached him. You may have done more in one message than any shield could, she said. Eli smiled. I didn't do it alone. But while peace returned to the surface, far above, something was changing. The mysterious ship began to move. Slowly, it shifted its position, then drifted away from the city. For the first time, it sent a true signal, not just light, but energy waves. The signal was not in any known language, but it was clear, a greeting. Rosa ran the data through every translator they had. After a few hours, she managed to get a rough meaning. It says, "We see you. We learn. We wait." Commander Reyes read the message twice. So they're leaving. For now. Looks like it, Rosa said. Everyone stepped outside and looked up as the dark ship faded into the stars. Selen stood beside the humans. Do you think they will return? Reyes nodded. I believe they will, Lai added. And next time they might not come in silence. As the stars returned to their calm places in the sky, a feeling of quiet wonder remained. Two worlds had met, another had watched, and the universe felt a little smaller, a little more connected. The story was far from finished. Asterisk. 2 weeks had passed since the dark ship had left the skies above the Alari city. Life had slowly returned to normal. Children laughed again. Music floated across the crystal bridges. The energy fields around the cities were lowered, though not completely turned off. Eli walked through the learning garden with Selen. Colorful flowers opened and closed gently as they passed. Floating lights followed the wind above them. Keep thinking about the message, Eli said. You come again? What do you think they meant? Selen touched the leaf of a silver vine. Maybe they needed time, or maybe they were not ready to meet. But they heard us. That matters, Eli nodded. It's strange. We didn't exchange a single word, but I feel like we understand something about them, Selen said, and they chose not to attack. That is a kind of understanding. Back on Horizon 1, Rosa and the engineers were busy collecting all the data from the encounter. The ship's memory banks were full of light patterns, energy waves, and every small movement the dark ship had made. Rosa smiled as she read through it. Even in silence they told a story, she said. Commander Reyes stepped into the room. Have we learned anything new? Maybe, Rosa replied. The rhythm in the lights, it wasn't random. It followed a shape. I think it was a kind of symbol, maybe even a name. Reyes nodded. If they return, we'll be ready to listen again. That evening, the Islery held a celebration not of victory, but of connection. They called it the Festival of Listening. Humans were invited as honored guests. The floating city lit up with soft colors. Long ribbons of glowing air flowed through the sky. In the center square, people from both species danced together. Musicians played instruments old and new. Rosa even brought out her violin and played a piece from Earth. It mixed with Alari tones in a way that surprised everyone. It sounds like we were meant to play together, Selen said with wonder. Eli smiled. Maybe we were. A group of young Ilari presented drawings and poems they had made. Many of them showed the 3 ships, Horizon 1, the Ilari welcoming vessel, and the silent dark ship floating in space like friends waiting to speak. Even the unknown can be part of a new story, one student said. Reyes stepped forward. Back on Earth, we've had wars, fear, and mistakes. But we've also had hope. What we found here gives me hope for all of us. After the celebration, Selen met with the Ilari Council. She stood in the same high glass room where they first discussed the arrival of the humans. We've learned so much in a short time, she told them. Not just about Earth, but about ourselves. One elder spoke. Do you believe the humans are ready to stay longer? Selen thought for a moment. They came in peace. They acted with respect. And they brought light in a moment of darkness. I believe they are more than ready, the council agreed. Invitation was written and sent. To Commander Reyes, the next morning, Reyes gathered his team. The Ilari have invited us to stay longer, he said. Not just to visit, but to build something together. Joint station, a home for both species. Everyone looked at each other with wide eyes. You mean, Rosa said, they want to build something new? With us? Yes, Reyes replied. A place where humans and Ilari can work, learn, and live side by side. Eli's face lit up. We can share more than stories. We can build a future. Construction planning began that very week. The new station would float between both worlds, part Ilari design, part human technology. It would have schools, music, halls, science labs, gardens, and shared living quarters. People from Earth started preparing to join the team. More ships would come, filled with scientists, artists, and builders. Back home, news spread fast. For the first time, humanity wasn't just reaching into space. We're becoming part of something bigger. On the Ilari side, many young ones signed up to study Earth languages and cultures. Some even dreamed of visiting Earth one day. Eli sat with Selen at the edge of the garden again, watching the plans grow on a glowing screen. Did you ever think this would happen? He asked. Sel smiled softly. We hoped for contact. But we never expected such a strong connection. Neither did we, Eli said. But I'm glad we came. As the first pieces of the joint station began to form in orbit, small blinking light appeared on the scanner again. Rosa looked up. Is that? Eli walked over and checked the signal. It was the dark ship that had returned just at the edge of the system, but this time it brought something new. A symbol, a simple, glowing pattern. It matched the one Rosa had found in the music. It's a name, Eli said. They want us to know who they are. The ship didn't come closer. But it didn't hide. It hovered quietly, its symbol bright in the sky. And once again, the humans in Ilari looked up not with fear, but with welcome. Because now, they understood. The galaxy was listening, and the story was still growing. The new joint station was growing quickly between the Ilari homeworld and Earth. Its shining towers reached toward the stars. A blend of human engineering and Ilari elegance. People from both species worked together every day, building classrooms, gardens, and research labs. Eli walked through the busy halls, smiling at the lively crowd. Humans and Ilari spoke in mixed languages, shared meals, and told stories. It was a place of friendship and learning. Selen joined him by a window that looked out into space. It's amazing, isn't it? She said softly. Eli nodded. Making something new here, something neither of us could have done alone. Suddenly, an alert sounded. The station's scanners picked up a message. It was from the dark ship, the one that had watched silently all this time. The message was brief but clear. We wish to join. The station fell silent for a moment. Everyone waited to see what would happen next. Selen looked at Eli. They want to be part of this. Eli swallowed hard. But we don't know who they are or what they want. Commander Reyes stepped forward. We have to give them a chance. That's what brought us here, Hope. The station's communication team opened a channel to the dark ship. Slowly, the vessel moved closer. It was still black and silent, but this time it did not hide. A door opened on the ship's side. A small group of beings appeared tall, with smooth silver skin and eyes like bright stars. They moved with grace, but there was strength in their presence. One stepped forward and spoke in a calm voice. It was translated instantly by the station's computers. We are the Verith. We watched your arrival. We feared, then we hoped. Now we want to learn. To join the crowd on the station whispered. The Veeroth were unknown before. Their silence had made many uneasy. But now, they spoke with openness. Eli felt a thrill of hope. They want peace. Selen smiled. And we will give it. Over the next weeks, the Veereth stayed on the station. They met humans and Ilari. They shared stories of their home a distant, cold world where they had survived many challenges alone. The Veereth were quiet but curious. They asked many questions and listened closely. Eli spent time with one Verith named Lyra. She was gentle and kind, but wise beyond her years. Why did you watch from afar? Eli asked one day. Lyra looked at the stars. Our people were afraid. We did not know if others would accept us. But now, we see hope. Eli nodded. We all feel fear sometimes, but peace is stronger. Selen invited the Virith to join the Festival of Stars, a celebration that marked the unity of all species on the station. Lights shimmered in the sky, music filled the halls, and laughter echoed through the gardens. Lyra stood beside Eli. This is beautiful, she said. It's the start of something new, Eli replied. As the festival ended, a message arrived from Earth's leaders. They praised the unity and hope shown by all species. They promised more support for the growing alliance. But far beyond the station, a dark force stirred. Some systems in the galaxy were watching closely. They saw the new alliance as a threat to the old order, yet on the station, hope shone brighter than fear and humanity. Once a small blue planet in a distant corner had become a light in the galaxy. Asterisk, the joint station now stood as a shining symbol between the stars, a home for humans. Ilari, Viroth, and many others who dreamed of peace and friendship. The halls buzzed with activity, but also with calm hope. Eli walked through the gardens, watching children from different worlds playing together. Their laughter was soft and bright, a melody that warmed the heart. Selen came beside him, smiling. We have come far, she said. From separate worlds to a shared future. Eli nodded. It feels like a dream, but it's real. Commander Reyes joined them, looking up at the stars beyond the glass walls. Today marks a new chapter, Reyes said. Not just for us, but for the whole galaxy. Suddenly, the station's sensors picked up a signal from deep space. It was unlike anything they had seen before, strong and clear, but peaceful. Rosa checked the data. It's a call. An invitation. The message was from a distant star system, one known for old conflicts and fear. But now, this message was different. It spoke of curiosity and hope. We are ready to listen, Reyes said. The news spread. Quickly, the galaxy was opening its doors. More species wanted to join the growing alliance. Eli felt a deep pride. Humanity had started this journey, not with weapons or threats, but with kindness and music. Selen nodded. It shows what can happen when fear is set aside. As the days passed, new ships arrived, bringing ambassadors and friends. The station grew larger, stronger, and more alive. One evening, Eli stood on the observation deck with Lyra the Virith, who had become a close friend. Do you ever wonder what the future holds? Eli asked. Lyra looked out at the stars. I think it holds many stories, some we cannot yet imagine. Eli smiled. I hope we get to write them together. Suddenly, the sky lit up with colors from the festival below. Music filled the air and people danced without worry. Reyes raised a glass. To peace. To friendship. To all who choose hope. Everyone joined in the toast. The story of humanity and the galaxy was still being written. But one thing was clear, no matter the stars, no matter the distance. Kindness and courage could change the universe, and that was the greatest power of all.